In the noise and rush of today's world, is there a source of strength that never goes out of style? The answer is a resounding yes. It's a mental framework forged in antiquity, designed for enduring the very chaos that defines our modern lives. This isn't about suppressing who you are. It's about unlocking a more grounded, capable, and resilient version of yourself through Stoic practice. Today, we're building that unshakable core together. We often believe resilience means never faltering. Stoicism teaches a wiser truth. It's about how you steady yourself after the stumble. This philosophy offers more than grit. It provides a blueprint for a mental stronghold. Within its walls, you maintain clarity when pressured and perceive obstacles as hidden gateways. The ancient Stoics didn't just endure hardship. They engaged with it as raw material for strengthening their resolve. Yet a tough spirit is only part of the picture. Equally vital is the wisdom to recognize the boundary of your influence. There is immense power in discerning what you can change from what you cannot. In an age obsessed with optimization, the simple acknowledgement, "this is the reality," isn't defeatism. It's a declaration of independence from futile struggles, freeing your energy for where it can truly make an impact. Now, let's redefine prosperity, not as an accumulation of external tokens, but as an internal richness of character and spirit. The Stoic path to wealth isn't about hoarding more possessions or chasing acclaim. It's about cultivating an inner life so abundant that external circumstances lose their power to disturb you. This form of fortune is theft-proof and grows more valuable with each challenge you meet. A true Stoic guide to affluence is less a financial plan and more an architectural design for a life of virtue, deep satisfaction, and lasting fulfillment. The wealth of the soul is the only treasure that multiplies when shared. So, how do you become unbreakable in a breakable world? The key isn't found in external validation or control over others. It resides in the disciplined mastery of your own perceptions, judgments, and actions. Through his profound letters, Seneca doesn't just offer instruction, he provides a spark. His aim is to elevate you above the ordinary, to a state where external chaos cannot dictate your inner peace. Remember, forging this tranquil mind is a deliberate practice. As we walk through these principles, each is a step in your evolution. It demands that you inspect your automatic thoughts, challenge your deepest assumptions, and align your behavior with your chosen values. It requires discipline, bravery, and above all, practical wisdom. As you integrate these ideas, prepare for a shift not just in thinking, but in living. Welcome the concepts of inner fortitude, clear-eyed acceptance, persistent endurance, and virtuous abundance. Build a perspective that doesn't merely survive the passage of time, but actively thrives within it. Crafting this Stoic foundation is our goal. It will connect you to the heart of personal sovereignty and timeless insight. Envision a seasoned pilot navigating through violent turbulence. Their hands are steady on the controls, their breathing even. They have not eliminated the storm, but they have mastered the skill of operating within it. This pilot has developed resilience, a learned capacity to work with instability, not against it. This is our metaphor. Your life, too, is filled with unpredictable weather and unexpected turbulence. Yet, like that pilot, you can cultivate a will anchored in such steadfast composure. The word resilience originates from the Latin resilire, meaning to leap back. It embodies the ability to recover from disruption, to adapt to new conditions, and to persevere through adversity. It's the gyroscope that keeps the aircraft level when the winds shear. For some, this seems an innate gift, as if they were born with an intuitive sense for life's rough air. For others, it's clearly a competency built through years of intentional training. Its value, however, is beyond question. In our era of rapid change, widespread chaos, and deep uncertainty, resilience has moved from a beneficial trait to an absolute essential. It's the dividing line between those who are broken by pressure and those who are shaped by it. But how is this profound quality developed? Can we really construct unshakable resilience from the advice of an ancient philosophy that seems disconnected from our digital reality? Stoicism, a classical solution for a modern crisis, provides exactly that. Stoicism is far more than an academic school of thought. Born in the bustling markets of Athens and refined in the complex political world of Rome, it is a way of existence rooted in a clear-eyed view of human nature. It trains us to accept the immutable and to focus our efforts on improving what we can, our actions, our beliefs, and our emotional responses. Often mislabeled as a philosophy of cold indifference, its true core encourages us to understand our emotions deeply and to guide them with virtue and rational thought. Consider it not as the elimination of feeling, but as the mastery of emotional intelligence. The Stoics proposed that every difficulty is an invitation to practice virtue, that every failure contains a lesson in wisdom, and that every pleasure should be enjoyed without becoming dependent on it. They understood, perhaps with more clarity than we often muster, that life is brief and that railing against fate is an exhausting waste of spirit. Stoicism is the art of transforming resilience into your keel. Acceptance, comprehension, emotional perspective, and the pursuit of moral excellence are the very pillars of resilience, the same pillars Stoicism builds upon. It serves as a reliable sextant for navigating a world of temporary delights and persistent trials. In short, it guides us from the trivial to the essential. Stoics interpret setbacks as invitations for development where others see only disaster. When hardship arrives, a Stoic doesn't lament, "Why is this happening to me?" but inquires, "What can this situation develop within me?" The Stoic method for life's tests isn't passive suffering, but active progression through them with dignity, insight, and inner stillness. This stance is founded on a liberating realization. While we cannot dictate life's events, we hold absolute sovereignty over our response to them. Our modern environment is flooded with self-improvement guides, motivational content, and coaching programs promising better mental health. Much of it has value, but few systems have passed through the fires of centuries like Stoicism. For over 2,000 years, it has served as a guide for emperors and slaves, athletes and artists, leaders and everyday people. Its enduring relevance testifies to the depth of its insight into human psychology and the art of a good life. This profound tradition reminds us of life's fleeting nature and urges a focus on what endures: our character, our conduct, and our contribution. Picture moving through life's most violent squalls with a composed heart, seeing problems not as dead ends, but as paths to personal betterment. This exploration will take you deeper into Stoic doctrine. Along the way, you'll gather the tools required to forge an unconquerable spirit, reinforced by virtue and understanding. What about you? Are you ready to pilot your life through rough skies like a seasoned aviator? We are now beginning our voyage into the core of durable resilience. Let's look under the hood and identify the most critical components of this indispensable attribute. Without them, even the most talented pilot is at the mercy of the storm. Resilience bears a strong resemblance to psychological flexibility, the capacity to return to center after life's pressures have pulled you off course. But this analogy has limits, as it suggests a simple return to a former state. Genuine resilience isn't only about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward. It's about integrating the experience into your identity and using adversity as a catalyst for evolution. You don't go back to who you were, you are reconfigured, emerging more durable and nuanced than before. In our always-on, hyper-connected existence, The din of life's demands, social comparisons, professional deadlines, personal conflicts can feel deafening. Daily existence can resemble a complex labyrinth with challenges at every turn. When we layer on global concerns like economic instability, social division, and ecological crises, resilience transitions from a desirable quality to a non-negotiable requirement. Psychological armor provides protection, emotional intelligence offers navigation, and philosophical insight supplies endurance. From a scientific viewpoint, resilience is more than the absence of mental distress. It also encompasses the presence of positive attributes and adaptive coping mechanisms. Key psychological elements linked to resilience include self-awareness, emotional regulation, realistic optimism, cognitive agility, and strong social support. Studies confirm these traits can be strengthened through targeted practice, debunking the myth that resilience is a fixed trait you either have or lack. A wide array of philosophical views on resilience exists. While our anchor is Stoicism, it's worth noting that many wisdom traditions offer guidance on building this capacity. Eastern philosophies like Buddhism teach non-attachment, a concept that resonates with the Stoic practice of emotional perspective. Existentialism, for its part, argues that life's inherent absurdities and struggles are necessary for authentic existence. Each, in its own way, adds to a richer understanding of how not only to persist, but to expand in the face of hardship. Stories of resilience are etched into human history. We will probe deeper into Stoicism and unearth the timeless rules that can help you handle life's gales with grace and emerge refined. History provides powerful illustrations. Nelson Mandela emerged from 27 years of incarceration with an unbroken spirit and a vision for national reconciliation. His resilience transformed not only his own destiny, but the fate of an entire country. Or reflect on the Roman philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who composed his meditations while governing an empire in crisis. His journals reveal his resilience and stoic devotion, depicting a man committed to virtue and wisdom amid wars, plagues, and political deceit. Finally, let's acknowledge ordinary, everyday resilience. The parent balancing multiple roles to support a family, the individual rebuilding after a health crisis, the student persisting after academic disappointment. These are the quiet champions, humble demonstrations of resilience's power and universality. As we inspect the upcoming Stoic concepts, you'll find each provides a unique vantage point for understanding and building resilience. These tenets create a sturdy framework for managing modern complexity, whether you lead an organization, a home, or simply your own development. They equip us not only to survive the storm, but to harness it, to convert struggles into strengths and problems into prospects. These core ideas will support us as we investigate each Stoic principle on the road ahead, deepening our pursuit of mental toughness and emotional poise. The inaugural Stoic principle we'll unpack is the essential practice of differentiating between what lies within your power and what does not. This lens can offer immediate clarity when you feel imprisoned by anxiety about global events, other people's choices, or future outcomes. Philosophers like Epictetus taught a simple, life-altering truth. What occurs to us does not define our existence. Our interpretation of and reaction to those occurrences does. Imagine your life as a symphony. You don't control every instrument or every note played by others, but you are the conductor of your own performance. According to Stoic doctrine, our mental interpretations, our decisions, our evaluations, and our behaviors reside entirely within our jurisdiction. If fully embraced, this may be one of the most emancipating ideas you ever encounter. When you internalize this, you drop an enormous load of unnecessary stress and concern. You liberate yourself from the chains that external events and the opinions of others have wrapped around you. In a meaningful way, you reclaim authorship of your narrative. Stoicism teaches the critical dichotomy of control. In plain terms, some matters are up to us, and others are not. We command our thoughts, feelings, desires, and actions because we can directly influence them. The climate, the financial markets, and the behavior of other people operate outside our command. Here are actionable ways to apply this filter. In moments of stress, insert a pause. Ask, is this within my direct control? If yes, channel your energy there. If no, intentionally practice letting go. Conduct a reality check. Before committing emotional resources, honestly assess if you can control the circumstance. If you cannot alter it, it almost certainly belongs in the "not up to me" column. Employ the "then what" technique. When worried about an outcome, ask, then what would happen? Frequently, you'll discover that even the worst-case scenario is manageable, redirecting your focus to your controllable response. Mindfulness cultivates awareness of your thinking patterns, helping you intercept yourself before becoming ensnared in the uncontrollable. Now, let's activate this concept. Create 2 columns on a sheet of paper or in a digital note. Title 1, My Domain, and the other, The World's Domain. Contemplate your work, your relationships, your physical well-being, your aspirations, and your anxieties. Start categorizing items into the appropriate column. For example, you control your preparation for a meeting, but not its ultimate outcome. In a friendship, you can choose to be reliable and kind, but not the other person's reciprocity. This practice is illuminating. It's akin to shedding heavy, unnecessary cargo from a ship. It makes your voyage through life smoother and faster. So the next time tension arises from a critical comment or an uncertain future, invoke this first Stoic principle. Identify what you can influence. Direct your focus entirely there, and consciously release the remainder. This single, repeatable act can be revolutionary, relieving you of burdens you were never meant to carry, and enabling you to live more completely and authentically. Mastering your sphere of influence isn't merely a Stoic exercise, it's a fundamental life skill that alters everything, establishing the groundwork for authentic resilience and enduring mental power. This is our non-negotiable starting point. As our journey proceeds, the next concept is the Stoic cultivation of apatheia, often misunderstood as apathy. If the term brings to mind emotionless robots or uncaring individuals, let's correct that notion instantly. Apatheia in Stoic vocabulary refers to the wise governance of passionate reactions, not the absence of feeling. It advises us not to allow raw emotions to hijack our reasoning and distort our ethical judgment. Stoicism suggests that the majority of our emotional reactions originate from our underlying thoughts and beliefs. By consciously altering how you appraise a situation, you can transform your emotional experience. For instance, if a colleague overlooks your contribution, instant resentment might spring from a judgment of being undervalued. But if you consider they may be overwhelmed or simply unaware, the emotional intensity diminishes. In the Stoic sense, achieving emotional distance means granting yourself a wider perspective. It involves constructing a mental buffer that permits clear thinking and prudent action, even amidst irritation or sorrow. In practical application, this distance is incredibly potent. Observe top-tier performers in any field who experience a public failure or a costly error. They don't collapse into shame or allow rage to cloud their next move. Instead, they utilize mental distance to dissect the misstep and prepare for the subsequent opportunity. Their resilience is visible in their swift recovery, facilitated by their composed equilibrium. Emergency personnel like firefighters and surgeons employ emotional distance to assess and act rapidly, without being incapacitated by the emotional gravity of the scene. This principle also functions in leadership, where good leaders frequently must make decisions that are correct but unpopular. Emotional detachment enables them to evaluate options without personal bias and select the tougher right course for the collective welfare. Now, let's convert this intellectual grasp into a felt experience. Here's a short visualization. You may adapt it to a writing exercise if you prefer. Find a quiet moment. Close your eyes. Take several slow, deep breaths to center your awareness. Recall a recent situation that triggered a strong negative response, a perceived slight, a work pressure, disappointing news. Now visualize yourself within that scenario once more, but this time picture a transparent, soundproof barrier encircling you. This barrier symbolizes your cultivated calm and objective vantage point. As the triggering event replays, imagine your emotions as waves crashing against this barrier and dissipating. They are witnessed but do not penetrate your space. Sit with this sensation of separation, the liberty and lucidity it affords. Open your eyes when ready. For a written approach, journal about that recent event. Document the specific judgments or narratives that ignited those feelings. Then deliberately reframe those judgments to reduce their emotional leverage. Note how this shifted. Perspective changes your emotional state and what a future, wiser response might look like. By learning Stoic emotional detachment, you award yourself a priceless instrument for resilience. This isn't about numbing your feelings. It's about conducting them with greater skill. It's like calibrating a fine instrument. The music of your emotional life still plays, but the notes are purer, more harmonious, and under your deliberate direction. In the Stoic view, developing apatheia is not about erasing emotion. It's about refining it. It authorizes us to govern our internal landscape rather than be governed by it. A life steered by unexamined passions is akin to a boat adrift without a rudder. By skillfully managing our emotions, we can plot a course consistent with our deepest principles and highest aims. The next concept cementing the Stoic path is the supreme importance of virtue and inner character. This stands in direct opposition to many contemporary markers of success that prioritize net worth, social standing, and physical appearance. Let's explore this closely and understand how it functions as the ultimate bedrock for mental resilience. Stoic philosophy declares that the highest human goods are qualities like practical wisdom, moral courage, justice, and self-discipline. Beyond being ethical ideals, they are utilitarian tools for a balanced and effective life. The Stoics believed these traits are the direct route to eudaimonia, best translated as human flourishing or a life well lived. They supply both a moral compass and a pragmatic methodology for handling life's intricacies. Think of it this way: if you dedicate yourself to constructing inner virtues, life's inevitable fluctuations will exert far less impact on your fundamental sense of worth. Stock market dips, shifting cultural trends, or personal rejections won't destabilize you as they would someone whose self-esteem is tethered to these externals. Committing to personal virtue is like building a fortified keep for your mind. Why? Because your principles can stand unwavering while the external world is in constant flux. The integrity, compassion, and insight you nurture cannot be confiscated by any person or event. They are yours, permanently. Consider a real-world example. Imagine you're an artist whose sole measure of success is commercial sales or viral popularity. What occurs when trends change or a major project is panned? Your creative confidence might shatter. However, if you prioritize virtues like authentic expression, disciplined craft, and contributing beauty, a commercial setback doesn't define you. You retain the resilience to adapt, learn, and continue creating. Another scenario is in leadership. Executives who base their entire self-concept on stock price or quarterly bonuses ride an emotional roller coaster. In contrast, valuing traits like visionary thinking, fair treatment of teams, and long-term value creation fosters resilience against market volatility and short-term criticism. Focusing on internal virtue also revolutionizes your motivation. You don't strive to live well for the trophy or the applause. You do it because living in accordance with virtue is its own intrinsic reward. This self-sustaining cycle of drive fortifies your mental resilience, rendering you less susceptible to life's ups and downs and providing a steady reservoir of energy to meet them. Let's practice this with a concrete task. In your journal or app, clearly list the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, temperance. Reflect on the past week. Write down specific moments, however minor, where you exhibited these qualities. Then honestly note missed opportunities where you could have demonstrated these virtues but fell short. This dual approach reinforces constructive behavior while kindly illuminating areas for conscious growth. Finally, set specific, modest intentions to nurture these virtues in the coming week. Treat them as personal performance indicators, but for your character's development, not your professional output. Society often directs you to seek contentment in material acquisition or others' approval. Stoicism redirects you to find it within the secure fortress of your own cultivated mind. By doing so, you erect a bastion of resilience that no external force can easily topple. The Stoic axiom that virtue is paramount is the master key to unparalleled mental resilience. Concentrating solely on what is wholly within your command builds an inner stability that remains unshaken amidst outer turmoil. For a Stoic, virtue is the non-negotiable foundation of a resilient, significant, and fulfilling life. As we continue exploring Stoic ideas that fortify the mind, we encounter a principle that is both awakening and liberating: the acceptance of impermanence. While this might initially sound somber, Stoicism views it as a freeing truth that imbues life with purpose and cultivates resilience in the face of inevitable change. A central pillar of Stoicism is the acknowledgement of the transient nature of all things. It encourages us to live in harmony with reality as it unfolds, not as we fantasize it might be. Life is a continual dance of change. Nothing remains fixed, for better or for worse. Understanding impermanence equips us to navigate life's peaks and valleys with greater serenity and less personal turmoil. The notion of impermanence isn't exclusive to Stoicism, of course. It features prominently in traditions from Buddhism to modern existentialism. Stoicism, however, adopts a pragmatic stance, urging us to leverage this knowledge to build resilience. Awareness of change prepares you to handle difficulties when they inevitably appear. Conversely, this awareness prevents excessive attachment to fleeting pleasures, thereby reducing the suffering that accompanies their eventual loss or transformation. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius expressed this concept powerfully in his Meditations. Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. This captures the Stoic view of life's brevity, comparing it to a relentless flow where one moment is swiftly carried away by the next. Marcus reminds us that both delight and distress are temporary, and we should cultivate a balanced outlook to manage life's undulations. Imagine the resilience of an individual who can look beyond present pain or a daunting challenge and recognize its temporary nature. This person isn't easily unseated by misfortune because they understand that neither favorable nor unfavorable conditions are permanent. Reflect on people who have experienced career loss only to discover a more authentic calling in its wake, or relationships that conclude, creating space for personal evolution or new, more congruent connections. Accepting impermanence can offer comfort even in profound sorrow, such as illness or bereavement, reminding us that our grief, while deep, will evolve in form and intensity, and that with time and intention, healing is possible. Let's engage in an exercise to apply this Stoic insight. Write down 3 experiences or possessions that have brought you significant joy. Contemplate their impermanent nature. How did you feel when these experiences ended or these objects were gone? How did you process that transition? Name 3 significant challenges or hardships you've navigated. Consider how they have transformed over time, how their shape, meaning, and impact have shifted. Were you able to perceive their temporary nature in the midst of the struggle? Finally, project your life 1 year into the future. Which of the things that feel critically important to you right now might have altered or faded in significance? How does contemplating their impermanence influence your feelings toward them? Does it allow you to appreciate them more deeply in the present, or perhaps to hold them with a lighter, less anxious grip? Accepting change is a Stoic concept that helps us perceive the world as it truly is, in a state of perpetual flux. In doing so, it furnishes the emotional toolkit to handle life's qifu, rendering us tougher and more resilient. Embracing impermanence is akin to learning the art of surfing. Each wave of change is unique, with its own swell and break, dangers and exhilarations, but a practiced surfer learns to ride them all with calm assurance, adapting to the rhythm of each one. From the Stoic perspective, understanding life's temporary nature makes us skilled surfers, capable of riding the crests of joy and navigating the troughs of hardship while preserving our inner equilibrium. As we proceed to examine Stoic ideas for mental fortitude, we come to a particularly powerful one: the discipline of objective representation. This principle challenges us to view the world without the distorting filter of personal opinion, unchecked interpretation, or raw feeling. It may appear a daunting task, but it is precisely the pathway to unmatched resilience and a richly rewarding existence. According to the Stoics, a significant portion of our suffering stems not from events themselves, but from our perceptions of them. People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them, Epictetus correctly observed, and contemporary cognitive science agrees. Our judgments architect our emotions. Objective representation is about cleaning the window through which we view reality. It's about stripping away layers of personal bias to arrive at the naked facts. Suppose you experience a significant professional rejection. The fact is that a specific opportunity did not materialize, with certain practical implications. Labeling this event as catastrophic, proof of my inadequacy, or profoundly unfair, however, adds a heavy layer of subjective interpretation that can induce psychological distress and a sense of helplessness. The capacity to view situations objectively can dramatically enhance your ability to handle life's difficulties. Consider the dissolution of a close partnership. Viewed through a highly personal lens, it might feel like an irreparable tragedy, a fundamental assault on your self-worth. Viewed through objective representation, it is a factual change in relational dynamics, indicating the connection was not mutually sustainable. This objective framework permits you to examine the situation logically, extract lessons, and perhaps even identify its potential for catalyzing personal growth or improving future relational patterns. Criticism offers another common example. It's natural to feel personally attacked or diminished when a supervisor or peer offers negative feedback. But through the lens of objective representation, you can learn to see it primarily as data, neutral information that may contain elements useful for your improvement. While feedback can initially sting, it can fuel substantial growth if you can separate the useful signal from the emotional noise. Here are practical strategies for cultivating objective representation. The intentional pause. In emotionally charged moments, consciously insert a breath and create mental space. This brief hiatus allows for perspective to enter before reaction. Interrogate your narratives. Ask, what is the literal fact here? Is my current thought a verifiable fact or my personal interpretation? Challenge your automatic assumptions. They are not reality until scrutinized. Third-person reframing. Restate the situation as if it happened to a respected friend. Ask what actually occurred and what are its practical implications, rather than the emotionally loaded, why is this happening to me? Seek a trusted sounding board. We often cannot see past our own deeply held narratives. A thoughtful, objective friend can help you discern realities you might be overlooking. I strongly advocate keeping a Stoic journal as a foundational practice. At the day's end, briefly record moments where you felt strong, anger, sadness, or elation, then review them with detachment. Strip away the charged, judgmental language and observe what remains, the core facts. This single, consistent act can be profoundly liberating and enlightening. Objective representation is the Stoics' surgical tool, skillfully cutting away the excess tissue of biased interpretation to reveal the clean reality of a situation, which can then be addressed and can heal more effectively. Making a habit of perceiving things as they truly are enhances both your resilience and your understanding of the world and yourself. When you commit to objective representation, you grant yourself one of the most potent psychological instruments ever devised. You construct a mental rampart that is difficult to breach. It promotes cognitive flexibility, helping you sidestep emotional landmines and the sharp barbs of negative self-talk. You can maintain your composure even when external circumstances turn unfavorable, simply by viewing reality as it is, not as you fear or wish it to be. Now we'll examine the principle of voluntary endurance, which synthesizes these lessons into an actionable life strategy. It's insufficient to merely suffer through hard times. One must learn to see them as opportunities to develop character and expand the capacity of the soul. The Stoics didn't avoid worldly troubles. They welcomed them as chances to apply their philosophy and thereby improve. Stoicism maintains that challenges are not merely inevitable inconveniences, they are essential nutrients for the soul's growth. Seneca wrote, "Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. Voluntary endurance is not passive resignation. It is the active, deliberate embrace of what is occurring. It means standing squarely in the storm and saying, 'Shape me.' This willing acceptance alchemizes mere survival into a transformative process where adversity is converted into invaluable wisdom. Keep in mind, hardship is a universal component of the human experience. What distinguishes us is not the presence of problems, but our posture toward them. Look to history or your immediate community to witness how confronting and transcending adversity fundamentally reshapes lives. Consider Nelson Mandela once more. His decades of imprisonment became a crucible for profound spiritual and intellectual refinement, not merely lost time. Consider figures like Malala Yousafzai, who transformed a brutal attack into a global crusade for education. She didn't just survive, she harnessed her hardship to fuel a purpose far larger than herself. Re-engineer your relationship with difficulty. Instead of perceiving problems as punishments, view them as purposeful assignments. Why is this happening to me? Morphs into, what is this demanding that I develop within myself? Before engaging a tough scenario, a practicing Stoic might pause, center themselves with a breath, and recall their philosophical stance. You might even keep a meaningful Stoic quotation accessible for rapid centering. Experiment with a temporal perspective shift. When in the thick of struggle, consciously recall a past challenge you successfully navigated. This shift in time frame can often provide emotional ballast and make the practice of voluntary endurance feel more accessible and natural. Learn the strategic art of the pivot. Discerning when to change course is an integral aspect of enduring wisely. Resilience can sometimes mean intelligent adaptation, and a durable, flexible mind is among your greatest assets. The Stoic concept of voluntary endurance furnishes a psychological resilience that far surpasses mere coping mechanisms. It empowers us to perceive obstacles as opportunities for internal growth and profound transformation. We cease to be victims of circumstance and begin to see life as an ongoing classroom where we are perpetually eager to learn, expand, and evolve. When you view life through the lens of voluntary endurance, each challenge acts like a sculptor's chisel, carving away the excess marble that obscures your true potential. The strikes may feel jarring and you may momentarily feel close to fracture, but it is precisely through these experiences that the most beautiful and enduring masterpieces, whether in stone or in human character, are revealed and refined. Through our exploration, we've surveyed various Stoic concepts for mental fortification and resilience. Yet Stoicism is not merely a toolkit for personal hardening. Its wisdom extends beyond the self, championing community and interconnectedness. This communal dimension is where our final principle, the common fellowship, comes into focus. Stoicism instructs us to view life through the lens of the cosmopolis, the world city, the universal society of all reasoning beings. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids. To feel anger at another or to turn away from him is to work against nature." The Stoic idea of interconnectedness is inseparable from its emphasis on reason and virtue. You should strive to improve your own virtue, and you should simultaneously work to support the virtue and well-being of those around you. Stoicism posits that our own flourishing is inextricably linked to the flourishing of others, even as it champions individual resilience through self-command, emotional management, and rational choice. Thus, our personal resilience is amplified and enriched when exercised within a communal context. If you can help your community weather difficult seasons, they can in turn support you through your personal trials with shared resources, collective encouragement, and pooled wisdom. This doesn't imply a dependence on external aid. It signifies possessing a resilience that is both internally rooted and externally reinforced. A resilient community functions as a vital safety net, and its shared values provide a stabilizing anchor when even the most steadfast individual might begin to waver. Reflect on leaders like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. Their profound personal resilience was channeled into and amplified by their communities, empowering entire movements for social change. Or consider the people in your own life who provide genuine enrichment, loyal friends, insightful mentors, even constructive online communities. Their support, challenge, and counsel directly bolster your mental and emotional strength. How to cultivate community-based resilience. Engage in mutual aid, simple acts of assistance from helping a neighbor to organized volunteering. Strengthen communal bonds and resilience, which in turn reinforces your own. Practice empathetic listening. While Stoicism advocates managing our own emotional turbulence, it doesn't sanction ignoring the feelings of others. Active, empathetic listening is a cornerstone of healthy, resilient relationships. Share a philosophical foundation. Form or join a Stoic study group or discussion circle in your community. This creates a dedicated space for mutual growth, accountability, and resilience strengthening. Embrace responsible leadership. Leadership in the Stoic sense isn't about authority, it's about stewardship. fostering a healthy group spirit and making decisions for the common good. The concept of community and universal fellowship is central to Stoic philosophy, rendering it holistic and complete. While you build and cultivate resilience on a personal level, it finds its highest expression and reinforcement in a communal dimension that benefits both you and the collective. As Seneca observed, we are all chained to fortune. In this shared human predicament, we discover our common fellowship. By recognizing that we are all interwoven threads in the grand human story, we become more resilient actors, prepared to perform our roles with greater skill and compassion. Do not merely allow Stoic principles to illuminate your solitary path. Let them also cast light for others, guiding us collectively toward a more resilient, reasonable, and compassionate world. We've undertaken a substantial journey through the landscape of Stoic philosophy, a tradition overflowing with timeless insight from the ancient world that remains startlingly applicable today. We've carefully analyzed key principles central to the Stoic vision of resilience: discerning control, cultivating equanimity, prioritizing virtue, accepting impermanence, practicing objective representation, embracing voluntary endurance, and finally, acknowledging our common fellowship. These are not abstract ideas for detached contemplation. They are actionable daily steps you can take to fortify your mental and emotional defenses against life's inevitable trials. They empower you to think rationally amidst chaos, grant you the strength to focus on your true domain of influence, and encourage you to reinterpret problems as lessons rather than punishments. Mastering your own emotional world is a primary Stoic aim, and it simultaneously teaches the indispensable value of communal resilience. In life's intricate weave, you are not an isolated strand, but an integral part of the human tapestry. By understanding and embodying these Stoic principles, you not only strengthen your own thread, but also enhance the resilience and beauty of the entire fabric. That is Stoicism's transformative potential. It doesn't merely advise self-improvement, it inspires you to contribute to a better world simply through the quality of your presence. As we conclude this deep exploration, I extend a sincere and practical call to action. Let this not be a conclusion, but a commencement. Apply the ideas you've encountered here to the small daily events of your life. Initiate a daily Stoic ritual incorporating the exercises we've discussed. Remember that Stoicism is a path to be walked, not a destination to be reached. Walking it faithfully requires daily commitment, a readiness to learn, and a courageous willingness to change. So take the next step. Use your daily existence as the proving ground for Stoic ideas. Assume command where you can. Practice release where you must. Always hold virtue as your highest standard. Accept life's natural fluctuations. Strive to view matters with clear-eyed objectivity. Meet trials with a willing spirit. Contribute constructively to the shared human experience. Do not view your cultivated resilience as merely a personal asset. Recognize it as a gift to your community, a practical way to foster a more sensible, stable, and caring society. The ancient gnarled trees in a windswept forest can teach us a profound lesson. They do not fight, protest, or complain. Standing firm in powerful gales and driving rain, they simply stand. They bend, they sway, and sometimes they shed branches, but they do so with immense grace, allowing the storm's immense energy to pass through and around them. What does it genuinely mean to accept? What species of power resides in conscious surrender, in the clear-eyed recognition and perception of reality exactly as it is, unclouded by our frantic hopes, gnawing fears, or personal desires? Acceptance is not capitulation or quitting. It is the courageous acknowledgement of what is, which liberates you from the exhausting strain of resisting the inevitable. Acceptance is a profound practice sitting at the intersection of philosophy, spiritual insight, and applied psychology. It asks us to engage with life not as we desperately wish it were, but as it actually presents itself. The contemporary world seems to orbit around our endless preferences. We can customize everything from our coffee order to our digital persona. But life, in its raw, unfiltered state, does not always conform to our personal designs. We encounter problems, unforeseen challenges, and unexpected twists. When this occurs, our default response is often to resist, deny, and resent the glaring gap between what is and what we want. Hence the deceptively simple phrase, "It is what it is." You've undoubtedly heard it uttered countless times across a spectrum of contexts, from competitive sports to corporate boardrooms, from quiet meditation halls to bustling city streets. While these words may on the surface seem dismissive or weak, they contain a reservoir of deep wisdom that philosophers and thinkers have examined for millennia. The core idea is not indifference or fatalistic loss, but a clear comprehension of a situation's